Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. You know, NVIDIA's stock took a huge hit, right?
Oh, yeah?
We're talking the biggest drop ever, like $589 billion gone in a single day.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Totally. So NVIDIA, they're like the big name in AI chips, right? How could this happen to them?
It's a really interesting question. I mean, sure, the whole tech market wasn't doing so hot that day,
Right.
but NVIDIA, they just fell way harder than anyone else.
Yeah. And what's with this DeepSeek thing?
Yeah, DeepSeek. No one really saw that coming.
It's like this Chinese AI startup comes out of nowhere and suddenly NVIDIA's in trouble.
Well, basically, NVIDIA's chips, these GPUs, they're like essential for a lot of AI stuff.
Yeah.
But they cost a fortune. We're talking like $40,000 a pop.
Wow. Okay, so they're powerful but expensive.
Exactly. And DeepSeek, they've come up with this AI model that's pretty impressive and a lot cheaper.
Hold on. An AI model, like, is that like a software program? How can software compete with like a physical chip?
You got it. It is like a software program, but it's designed to do the same kind of heavy lifting as those NVIDIA chips.
Okay.
And here's the thing, it seems to be working really well. Like even Jensen Huang, NVIDIA's CEO, he's admitted DeepSeek's tech is legit.
No way. So even NVIDIA's own CEO is impressed.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So did NVIDIA's stock crash just because investors got spooked by this new competitor?
It's basically panic selling, right? Investors see this new player, DeepSeek, and they start thinking, uh-oh, maybe NVIDIA's not going to be top dog anymore.
Makes sense.
And when enough investors think that way, they start selling their stock and the price plummets.
Wow. So this DeepSeek thing is a pretty big deal then.
Definitely a game changer. And it's not just about companies either. This crash hits some people hard.
You mean like people who worked at NVIDIA?
Not just employees. Think about Jensen Huang, NVIDIA's CEO. He personally lost $20.1 billion.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, that puts things in perspective.
That's a serious hit, even for someone at his level. It shows just how significant this shift is.
Yeah, it's not just numbers on a screen. It's real money, real impact.
Exactly. And the impact wasn't limited to NVIDIA.
You mean the rest of the tech world felt it too?
Oh yeah. The Nasdaq, that big tech-heavy index, it dropped 3%. And even the S&P 500, which tracks a wider range of companies, it fell 1.5%.
So this wasn't just a bad day for NVIDIA, it was a bad day for a lot of people.
Absolutely. We're talking billions, even trillions of dollars lost across the tech world. It was a rough one.
Can you give us some examples of other big players who took a hit?
Oh, there are plenty. Like Larry Ellison, he's the co-founder of Oracle.
Right, Oracle, the database giant.
Yep, he lost a whopping $22.6 billion.
Ouch.
And Michael Dell, the founder of, Dell,
Dell Computers, yeah.
Exactly. He saw his wealth shrink by $13 billion.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't just these big names. The whole chip-making industry took a beating.
Really? Beyond just NVIDIA?
Oh yeah, it was actually their worst day since the whole COVID pandemic.
Wow, this really sent shockwaves through the whole tech sector.
No doubt about it. It really exposed some of the vulnerabilities of the AI sector.
You mean like everyone's saying AI is the future, but is it actually making money?
That's a really sharp observation. There's a lot of potential in AI, that's for sure, but the path to profitability,
Yeah.
it's turning out to be way more complicated than people thought.
So it's not just build a cool AI and watch the cash roll in.
Not quite. There are a lot of companies out there pouring tons of money into AI development,
Right.
but they're not seeing the returns they were hoping for. It's a tough business.
So are there any examples of like specific companies that are struggling with this?
Oh, absolutely. Take OpenAI, for example.
OpenAI, they're the ones behind ChatGPT, right?
That's the one. Now, ChatGPT's been super popular. Everyone's talking about
Yes, everywhere.
it. But even they are facing challenges. They actually decided to delay the release of their next big language model, GPT-5.
Really? Why would they do that? It seems like they've got a lot of momentum right now.
It's a tricky situation. One thing they're worried about is a potential shortage of those powerful GPUs we were talking about earlier.
Ah, right, the NVIDIA chips.
Exactly. They need those to train their AI models. And with NVIDIA's situation, well, there's some concern about whether they'll have enough to go around.
Okay, so that's one reason. You said it was a combination of factors though, right? What's the other big worry?
The sheer cost of training these AI models is insane. We're talking like $700 million for ChatGPT.
$700 million.
Yeah. It's a massive investment, and it really highlights just how much financial risk is involved in this whole AI sector. OpenAI might be thinking, what if the market for this stuff doesn't grow fast enough to justify that kind of spending?
So they're being cautious. Makes sense.
Right, they're not taking any chances. And you know what? This whole DeepSeek thing, it's not just shaking things up for NVIDIA and OpenAI.
Yeah, what else is going on?
It's shifting the entire AI landscape, like globally.
Globally, so are we talking like the U.S. versus China or something?
You got it. The US has always been seen as the leader in AI, right? But DeepSeek's success, It shows that China is a serious contender.
So we've got this stock crash, this new competitor, and now maybe a shift in global leadership.
It's a lot to process, I know. That's like someone hit the fast forward button on the whole AI revolution, and suddenly all the old assumptions about who's in charge and what strategies will work,
Yeah.
well, they're being challenged. It's exciting. It's a little scary, but it's definitely exciting.
I hear you. It's like we're at a turning point. We're watching history unfold in real time.
Exactly. And, this isn't just about some far-off futuristic AI stuff.
It's happening now.
Oh, yeah. It's already affecting our lives, our jobs, everything. This NVIDIA and DeepSeek thing, it's a wake-up call. It shows just how fast things can change and how important it is to be ready to adapt.
So we've talked about this crash, this new competitor, this potential shift in global leadership. What's the bottom line for our listeners? What do they need to understand about all this?
I think the most important thing is to realize that this isn't just a blip on Wall Street, It's potentially a major turning point in the evolution of AI.
A turning point? What do you mean?
Think about it. The old rules are being rewritten, and the companies, the people who can adapt, who can innovate, they're the ones who are going to thrive in this new era.
For our listeners who are thinking, okay, interesting story, but what does this have to do with me?
Great question. I'd say this. AI is no longer some science fiction fantasy. It's already here, it's changing our world, and this whole NVIDIA situation, it's a powerful illustration of just how quickly things can shift. It doesn't matter if you're in business, technology, or anything else.
Yeah.
Understanding these changes is crucial for everyone. No one's immune to the AI revolution.
So where do we go from here? What's the big question that our listeners should be thinking about as they ponder the future of AI?
Here's something to chew on. In this crazy, fast-paced world of AI, where things are changing constantly,
Right.
and where access to AI is becoming more and more widespread, what's going to separate the winners from the losers? What strategies will determine success in this new era of AI?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's like the game has changed and we need a new playbook.
Exactly. And figuring out that playbook, that's the challenge and the opportunity. We're all in this together, trying to navigate this uncharted territory. It's exciting, it's a little scary, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride.
You got that right. And I'm sure we'll be talking about it a lot more in the future. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI.
My pleasure. It's always fun to explore these big ideas with you. And to our listeners, keep those questions coming. The more we all learn and explore together, the better prepared we'll be for whatever the future of AI holds.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.
You bet. See y'all next time. Yeah, it's not that simple.
Right.
A lot of companies are putting so much into AI, and they're not really making the money they thought they would.
So you're saying there are companies out there that are really struggling with this, like any big names?
Oh yeah, for sure. Think about OpenAI.
OpenAI, the ChatGPT people.
Yep, those guys. ChatGPT's been huge, right? Everyone's talking about it.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
But even they're running into some roadblocks. They actually decided to hold off on releasing their next big thing, GPT-5.
No way. Why would they do that? They seem to be on a roll.
Well, a couple of things, really. One is, those super powerful GPUs we were talking about?
The NVIDIA chips.
Exactly. Well, OpenAI needs those to train their AI models. And with NVIDIA having a rough time, there's this worry that there might not be enough of those chips to go around.
So a potential shortage.
Yeah, that's one piece of the puzzle. But there's another big concern, too.
Okay, what's that?
The cost. Training these AI models is crazy expensive. We're talking like $700 million for ChatGPT.
$700 million just to train it.
Yep, it's a massive investment. And that really shows you just how much is at stake financially in this whole AI game. OpenAI might be thinking, what if the market for this stuff doesn't take off like we think it will?
So they're playing it safe.
Exactly. Not taking any chances. And, this whole thing with DeepSeek coming in and disrupting things.
Yeah.
It's not just about NVIDIA and OpenAI.
It's bigger than that.
Oh, yeah. It's affecting the whole AI landscape.
Really? Like, how so?
Well, for a long time, the U.S. has been the king of AI, right? But DeepSeek's success, that's a sign that China is catching up, maybe even taking the lead.
Wow. Okay, so we've got a stock crash, a new competitor, and maybe a shift in global power?
It's a lot. I know. It's like all of a sudden AI's growing up and everything's changing faster than we ever imagined.
I'm getting whiplash just trying to keep up.
I hear you. And this isn't just about some abstract futuristic technology.
Affecting us right now.
Oh, yeah. It's already impacting our jobs, our economy, our lives. This whole NVIDIA and DeepSeek story, it's a wake-up call. Things are moving fast. We got to be ready to adapt.
Okay, so we've talked about this crash, this new competitor, this possible shift in global power. What's the takeaway for our listeners? What's the big lesson here?
The big thing is, this isn't just a Wall Street story. It's potentially a huge turning point in the history of AI.
A turning point? Like, how so?
Think about it. All the old rules, they're being thrown out the window. And the people, the companies that can adapt, that can come up with new ideas,
Yeah.
they're going to be the ones who come out on top in this new world.
So for our listeners who are saying, okay, this is all very interesting, but what does this have to do with me?
Great question. I'd say this. AI isn't just science fiction anymore. It's here, it's changing our world. And the whole NVIDIA story, it just shows you how fast things can change. It doesn't matter if you work in tech, business, or whatever.
Right.
Understanding the changes is crucial for everybody. We're all part of this AI revolution, whether we like it or not.
So where do we go from here? What's the big question we should all be asking ourselves as we look to the future of AI?
Here's something to ponder. In this fast-paced world of AI, where things are constantly changing, and where AI is becoming more and more accessible,
Right.
what's going to separate the winners from the losers? What strategies will determine success in the AI age?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's like we're all playing a new game with a whole new set of rules.
Exactly. Figure out those new rules. That's the challenge. But it's also an opportunity. We're all in this together trying to figure out this crazy, exciting new world of AI. It's a little scary, but it's going to be an amazing ride.
You got that right. It's like we're all on a rocket ship and we're just starting to blast off. It really makes you think, we always think about these big companies like they're the ones driving innovation. But then you get this small startup, DeepSeek, just coming out of nowhere and changing the whole game. It's kind of inspiring, actually.
I know, right? It shows that innovation can come from anywhere. You don't need to be a giant corporation with billions of dollars.
Right.
Sometimes all you need is a fresh perspective and a willingness to shake things up.
And the guts to take on the big guys, right?
Exactly. DeepSeek's not afraid of NVIDIA. They're not afraid to challenge the status quo. That's what makes them so dangerous and so exciting.
They're like the David to NVIDIA's Goliath. It's a classic underdog story.
You got it. And this isn't just about AI. It's about innovation in general. It's about being adaptable, being willing to change, and never underestimate the power of a new idea.
So for our listeners, this might all seem kind of, abstract. Like it's happening in the world of high finance and tech, but how does it affect everyday people?
That's a great question. And the answer is, it affects everyone. AI is already changing the world around us, whether we realize it or not. It's changing the way we work, the way we shop, the way we interact with each other.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And this whole NVIDIA and DeepSeek thing, it shows just how fast things are moving and how important it is for all of us to understand what's going on. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend it's not happening.
So what can our listeners do? How can they stay ahead of the curve and not get left behind in this AI revolution?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say stay curious. Keep learning, explore different perspectives. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The world of AI is complex, and it's changing all the time. The more you understand it, the better prepared you'll be to navigate it.
So beyond just staying informed, are there any specific actions that people can take?
Absolutely. Think about how AI might impact your own field, your own industry. What are the potential benefits? What are the challenges? And most importantly, look for opportunities to learn and experiment. Get your hands dirty.
Don't be afraid to jump in, right?
Exactly. And don't forget the ethical implications. AI is a powerful tool, and we need to be having conversations about how to use it responsibly, how to ensure it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Yeah, those are all important points. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and the excitement of AI, but we got to remember that it's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly. It's up to all of us to shape the future of AI and make sure it's a future we can all be proud of.
Well said. This has been a really insightful deep dive into the world of AI, and I think we've all learned a lot today. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Always a blast talking about this stuff with you. And to our listeners, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep asking questions.
That's what it's all about. Until next time, folks.